Do you like wrestling trivia? Then check out the 5-Star Match Game, the Pro Wrestling Quiz Show. I'm Joe Gagney, and every episode, I grill 3 contestants with 5 rounds of power-packed wrestling trivia. We have over 30 evergreen episodes in the archives covering WWE, AEW, Japan, Mexico, and much, 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 much more. Play along at home and check it out today.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Here we go! Baby, kiss me like a love star. So I'm a cowrie. Whoa, whoa, kimi kata omoi, namida no shitsure mo. So give me 2, give me 5, give me double chatters.
You're listening to the Emerald Flow Show on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network.
Welcome to episode 77 of the Emerald Flow Show. We're a podcast on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. You can follow us on X at Emerald Flow Show, and I believe now we're on Blue Sky at Emerald Flow Show. And is that
probably
true?
Yes, wait, let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure it is. Because again, I made that account like ages ago. So
And no one was
there's definitely nobody else that had claimed Emerald Flow Show already, yes.
And you can listen to us on all your favorite podcast apps. You listen to us on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review. I'm Gerard, back here with Paul. We have a ton to talk about with like quite a bit of news breaking in the last 48 hours.
Yeah, it's Emerald Flow Show actually in full. Yeah, Emerald Flow Show is the handle.
So we start off with the biggest breaking news. Suwama is basically becoming a part-time wrestler for All Japan. He's resigning his managing director and his executive VP spot, but he's going to remain on the board of directors of All Japan in a non-executive capacity. And it says that he'll be wrestling like 1 to 2 matches a month for them. And then he's going to be a full-time president of Evolution, and they're looking to expand next year by adding to the roster, as well as running more and bigger venues than just Shinkiba First Ring. I saw some people be sort of shocked at the news. I guess I'm sort of surprised, but I'm not like particularly concerned about this at all.
Yeah, I wasn't really super surprised, to be honest. Like, I mean, it's obviously not news that I expected, but when I saw it, I was like, yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, when we had like a year ago, right, when we had the whole like fallout of like Shuji Ishikawa leaving and Black Mansure leaving and the whole Evolution relationship seemingly falling apart because the president just wanted a bunch of like, I don't know, he didn't want like actual like women's wrestling. It's the best way of putting it, right? So, and I mean, I think we even discussed it back then, right? That where we were like, Suwama kind of looks a little weak here because like everybody else of the Evolution guys kind of like left over this, or like, or rather the guys heavily involved in this project kind of left over this, and he stayed. Whereas now, like the situation, like they've kind of like normalized their relationship now, and I don't know. To me, it makes sense. Like, right, he's been very obviously being pushed down in the company. Like, it's not as important as he used to be.
No.
And he's up there. His body is also really badly beaten up too.
And he had the vertigo a couple months ago.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it makes perfect sense for him to be, because I think the other thing that was in the news, right, that his first instinct was actually to just leave completely, but he was convinced that he was at least gonna like stay around part-time.
Yeah.
So it's obviously not like anything that is born out of like there being some sort of fallout between Suwama and the promotion. It's just, guy has been like wrestling a pretty heavy schedule for like 20 plus years now. And I think it's time for him to just take a little step back, get involved in like Evolution is a very obvious passion project of his. So if he wants to make that into something more, like give it a try. Why not? I mean, let's say even if it doesn't work out, he can still fall back on like getting a role with All Japan, obviously. So I don't know. I think, it's like the best possible outcome. Like you're still going to have Suwama around. He gets to do what he really, really, like what he's really passionate about, which is good. And like we're still gonna like he's still gonna be there to like do the occasional match. I guess that means if he's only doing 1 or 2 a month, I guess that means he's definitely not going to be in a carnival, which that's going to be kind of weird to have a carnival without Suwama.
Yes. Well, it's funny because like he's sort of that 20 years like that solid rock. And I guess you no longer have to worry about another Triple Crown reign.
I mean, you never know. Maybe that's the 1 to 2 matches a month he's going to do are going to be his Triple Crown defenses. But yeah, no, I think that one, that bugbear we can finally put to rest.
And so he said basically that, he was thinking about this once he hit his 20th anniversary, and that's all 20 years with All Japan. And he sees that this is what he said anyway, publicly. And he sees that the new generation has stepped up, so he feels fine stepping back. And I have no reason to doubt him or anything like that on that.
No.
Makes sense.
Again, if there actually was secretly something where like he's not happy with the promotion, then he would have just left completely. So, and since he didn't do that, I think it's pretty obvious that like he's telling the truth here.
Yeah. So here's the one potential downside. If he is the booker, he's done a pretty damn good job, all things.
Yes.
And if Miyahara and Yuma Aoyagi are getting more power, I mean, this could be a comedy promotion in 6 months.
I am a little worried there too, not going to lie. I mean, because they have kind of shown that they have like a lot of like instincts in that way, right? Both being kind of very much like comedy focused and everything. Like, I don't think it's going to morph into DDT, but there was like, I mean, we've kind of seen it in this tournament where may probably going to talk about it later as well, where there was some stuff where I'm like, I don't know if this direction is the right direction for this character to take. And that might be the Miyahara Yuma Aoyagi influence, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, remains to be seen. I mean, for all we know, it's a booking committee. In that case, it might be a little more of a seamless transition. Paul, is Hideki hanging around then?
I mean, he might be. I mean, I'm surprised he's still there, right? Maybe he's getting involved in like a backstage capacity as well now. I'm sure we'll find out like come January, right? Because now that Suwama's gone, obviously that frees up like a decent portion of the budget, right?
Yep.
Like there's a spot open now that they can sign somebody to.
Well,
and again, he's been there for 20 years, and Japanese employees generally get paid based off of tenure. He was probably making a decent amount of money.
Yes. Well, he's got a nice motorcycle to show for it too.
Yeah, exactly.
And well, I mean, I guess we'll jump ahead again, but I mean, Sekimoto might be hanging around as a regular, maybe, I don't know, but that could be a thing. And there might be someone else available to All Japan to use on some shows, because we'll go to our next topic, which is Takuya Nomura is leaving Big Japan as a contracted wrestler, but he's going to like still wrestle for them, but he's going to be part of Fighting Detectives, from what I can ascertain, and who knows this is completely correct, but they are going to be an actual promotion, but also a booking office for Abe and Nomura. I'm a little surprised because I didn't think he'd leave Big Japan.
No, I mean, that's really like signs that like Big Japan is not, I mean, obviously they're not doing well. Like we just need to look at their attendances, like them drawing like 300 people to Korakuen. That's really bad. And I mean, he's literally had like wrestlers in the promotion cut promos about that they're like, we're putting in all of this effort, and then there's so few people here, and it's just kind of sad.
Yeah.
I mean, makes sense, right? Like in Abe is doing a lot of like outside like shots and everything that as well. So if you kind of want to just centralize that into like one booking office and then maybe run a few, like, because I mean, I've liked the shows that they've run so far. Like, obviously the second one wasn't as good as the first one, but still, you know, they're fun shows. So if that's the kind of vibe that they want to keep up, then yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Now I'm just thinking, you know, obviously Abe has been a regular. So does that mean Nomura's going to pop up in All Japan?
I mean, I hope so, right? Because he used to be a regular, like so much so that we were speculating whether or not they're gonna sign him. So they should definitely, like, if he's willing to do that, then yeah, they should definitely just bring him in as a regular. Because with Suwama gone, like even a reduced Suwama, there is somebody missing, like towards like the upper end of the card, and that's where they had kind of like basically the spot Suwama was in now was kind of like where Nomura was actually for a while there when it was teaming with Miyahara. So.
And also, like I said, I would not surprised if Sakamoto gets slotted into the role as a part-time or two.
Yeah. Where, I mean, we actually have the 30th anniversary of Big Japan coming up next year.
Yeah, like because they're going to do Sakamoto versus Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
On Korakuen and June like that. So our next topic, we go over to Great, and Izuka is taking an indefinite hiatus because he is thrashed. He's got like a facial bone injury, and he had a bunch of concussions apparently. Now, Paul, let me ask you this: is him finally being like, I need to take some time off, Great ordering him, or do you think Great was telling him to power through this and he just got exhausted and begged to take a break, or what? I don't know. It just seems a little ominous.
I mean, the thing is, both with wrestlers but also wrestling promotions, each is like
especially
equally likely.
Like Great, because
no. And again, I think I talked about this race like a while ago as well, right? When who was it again that got like injured on a finish on a Great show?
Oh,
because there was the match where somebody like got like a back injury, right?
Yeah. Oh,
but but they didn't have like a ringside doctor or anything like that there.
Yeah,
they literally like carry the guy backstage and all of that. So like, if that's the kind of like standards of like,
was that Jack Cartwheel?
Work care? I think it might have been. So it was an American. I'm pretty sure, like American or British.
Cartwheel.
But basically, right. If that's the kind of standard of like worker care that they like have in Great, then I'm not surprised maybe they like pushed him to like not or maybe they just never checked up on him, right? Like it might have also been that he pushed himself.
Yeah.
And they just never like they might have actually not known that he was so injured because they have nobody on staff that could have checked him out and could have been like, hey, maybe this guy shouldn't wrestle.
Yeah. It's a real shame. I don't think Great was ever going to push him much more than they did, but he's one of the best parts of that company.
Oh yeah, no, he was one of the most entertaining parts of that company. It's like the heel turn and the like team with Ishida and everything. You know, I really enjoyed that, and so that's all now completely derailed. So I mean, they're still gonna go right because they're still gonna like they're obviously trying to like establish Soma Watanabe as the top guy now out of like all of the young guys. We'll see if that actually works. But again, now there is another option gone, and it's not like Great. Basically, when they started, they had a really good crop of young guys, but then now they haven't really like it's been 4 years, and there hasn't really been anyone coming after those guys. So
yeah,
if Soma Watanabe doesn't work, then who is actually the next guy? There isn't anybody there now.
You got to go back to T-Hawk or something.
Yeah, you got to get back to T-Hawk or like Kaito Ishida, I guess, or like 60% speed El Lindemann.
So Izuka was supposed to face Minoru Tanaka in a Lidet UWF rules match on December 30th at Tokyo Dome City Hall. So that's at the window.
Yeah, probably would have been like the first challenger for like Soma Watanabe, I guess.
Or he would have he faced the winner of that maybe faced Nakajima.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. Because it's the Lidet
Nakajima's defending the title against Tetsuya.
Yeah. Okay.
Which also could be a good. Well, I don't know. Nakajima's not the Griff style, but
no, it's not.
Anyway, at the very least. So then I don't know. I put this on the run sheet. I'm not sure if we'll ever have to talk to about him again, but I see Big Boss Shimizu has been
No.
suspended by Dragon Gate, and people don't know. Like, I know the Open the Voice Gate guys don't. So it's all sorts of speculation. But let's say he did something that pissed off Dragon Gate, but is not like some horrible crime, and he has to leave Paul. Where would you like to see Big Boss Shimizu pop up, and is in a company that we talk about?
I mean, ideally, yeah, I would want to see him pop up in like
Or is he just
all
going to
Japan or Noah. Yeah, I mean, yes, that's actually where this was leading. Basically, it was like, yes, I would love for him to pop up in All Japan or Noah, but realistically, if he's on the outs with like a Dragon Gate and it's not like he was like noncing or like I don't know, like beating up a taxi driver or something like that,
Yeah.
then yeah, no, he's absolutely just going to great. Like if he just got caught like smoking a joint or something, then yeah, he's just going to go to great. If so, while I would love to see that happen, I'm not very confident he would be popping up anywhere that were like. I mean, we talk about great, right? So
Yeah,
it's
we'll
not
talk
that we
about the
wouldn't talk
Tokyo
about
Dome City
him.
Hall show.
Exactly, yeah.
But there's nothing else going on other than
No, there's nothing like I'm not watching great like house shows.
No.
Like it's just no, not even like they're free and it's still like no, there's just nothing happening.
yeah. And then next on our run sheet, and we decided we're just going to talk about it here, Paul. We are the Mike D Defense Squad.
Yes, we absolutely are.
So look, I saw some initial responses to Mike D Vecchio in All Japan. What's with the list? Or he's like sloppy, which he can be at times, although he really does hit most of his stuff, even if it looks he's not going to on his initial jump. Anyway, what I'm going to say is I think Mike D is awesome. I think the crowd loves him, and I think he should come back, no question. And I compare Mike D to Brian Cage.
Yes.
You nitpick Brian Cage's work. You would not put Brian Cage in a 30-minute match. Although I would recommend watching Katsuhiko Nakajima versus Brian Cage for the GHC title in Noah if you've never seen that match. Is awesome. But the point is, there's a place. Like I feel like there's a place for Brian Cage, and there's a place for someone like Mike D on your roster. You just have to like not put him in a 40-minute match. You know?
No, absolutely. Like what I will always say again, I've seen a lot of Mike D. Like he was literally like the champion here of the local promotion in Berlin for a while. Like super over everything. Like the man was literally so over. They tried to turn him heel, and the crowd just straight up refused to boo him. Like they literally put him with like the hated heel manager that has been like the top heel manager of the company for a while, and the crowd didn't give a shit. Still cheered Mike D, and they just literally gave up on it after one show. I was like, I guess he's just the face. And so, yeah, he's not the most like cerebral wrestler, I think is the best way of putting it. Like, the Brian Cage comp is very like apt. But like, no, Mike D, like the thing you need to realize with Mike D is like, he is very much a like, just shut off your brain and just enjoy the like big muscly freak of athleticism, just do crazy spots. Like that's what he's good at. That's always what he's going, and he's really good at that. And I think actually to be fair, my point would have also been, I think it helps if you've seen him live, but you obviously haven't like seen him like in person, right? So, but like to me, it's also one of those things where it's like, no, like it also really helps when you've like seen him live and been there in the crowd, like when he has that connection and that energy. But again, even aside from that, yeah, I fully agree with the Brian Cage comp where it's like, no, like he's really good at spots, and he's really good when he's like being made to like do what he's good at, which is again, do a bunch of stuff that a guy of that size shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah. I almost think they should have put him with a better worker than Oishi to like better set him up.
Yeah. No, I agree. Because they didn't really mesh all that well as a team. I agree.
I mean, they tried to have some stuff going, but just Oishi's not. He's just an average worker. He's got experience.
No, I mean, I do agree that he was probably there as like the translation guy or something.
Yeah. So I want him back.
Oh, for sure. No, absolutely. And again, the crowd seemed to love him. He was very obviously like emotional at the end of the tour and everything. So
yeah, he got.
I mean, you never say never, but like with All Japan, we've seen where we were like, oh yeah, that guy's definitely gonna be back, and then those guys are never back. But I feel like if he wants to do it and their game, then I think he's definitely going to be back. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll start off with the shows. We go to Pro Wrestling Noah Limit Break X on November 24th at Shinkiba First Ring in front of 245 fans, which isn't quite a sellout, which is, well, we'll get to this in a minute. First match, Junior Matsunaga defeated Daiki Odashima in 10:15 with the Bee Sting. I thought this was a really solid like opening match with the rookie, although I think it went too long considering what they were trying to set up Matsunaga.
Yeah, I mean, he actually gave Odashima quite a lot, which at first I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they're giving Odashima a lot and everything. And then I was like, oh, wait, like Matsunaga's the 0-1 guy. So like, is he gonna like, and then, yeah, he came out after the main and challenged. And I was like, I don't know if that was really like the strongest way to establish your next challenger, but again, good match. Like it made for a better match, just a more confusing thing storyline wise, if that makes sense.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Next up, the Reeve Mask versus Black. Mensa Ray went to a double submission. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah,
it just was boring comedy and silly finish.
Yeah, no, for sure. This is the bad kind of like comedy wrestling where it just goes on for way too fucking long. Like that's the other thing. If this had been like, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, I would have been like less critical of it. But like, yeah, after like 4 minutes, I really like started to like look at my watch and be like, okay, like how much? Like, can we wrap this up, please?
Yeah. And then Chris Weiss, Satsuki Nagao, and Takuya Sugawara defeated Kazuyuki Fujita, Shuhei Taniguchi, Owada in 11:41 with the impact crash from Nagao on Owada. It was actually solid. I thought, like, surprisingly so, because that 0-1 team's a little shaky. Although, you know, Nagao is decent, but he's got a ways to go. But Sugawara is famously bad, and Vice is, I guess he's okay sometimes. But, you know, fine, solid. I thought, even here, I just think Owada was, like, really good, just selling and everything like that. Comebacks. And I think Owada might be my favorite wrestler in Noah right now.
I don't know if I would go that far, but he's definitely already up there. Like my spicy take was going to be that he was the best worker in this match, but
yeah, that's reasonable take actually.
But yeah, I guess you're going even further than that. But yeah, no, like he has something. Like I'm wondering if they're gonna send him on excursion at all, or if they are, he's probably going like early next year, and he might be on like an Ozawa kind of schedule, or even like a Kaito schedule, right? Because Kaito was gone for like what 6 months or something only, and then he was back. Yeah, so I can definitely see them do something similar with him, or like, and they might also like rocket push him similarly to the way they like rocket push like Kaito, or like now they're kind of at least somewhat rocket pushing Ozawa as well.
Yeah, and then Muhammad Yone defeated Tomimitsu Matsunaga in 9:20 with the Muscle Buster. Look, I thought this was a very solid match between two grimy guys.
Yes.
You know.
No, I do love when Yone gets these like singles opportunities.
I mean, he had a bit of a resurgence this year, I thought.
I'm wondering, I mean, and obviously not gonna do it at like the same scale that they did for as the one they just did for Saito, right? But I wonder if like whenever Yone decides to hang it up, they're gonna give him like his own like retirement show as well.
I would say yes, given how long he's been with the company.
Yeah. Because he's been there, like he's not in Dolphins Arena level, venue.
Yeah, Korakuen.
Yeah, Korakuen. Yes, Korakuen is perfect for him.
And then next up, Atsushi Katoge and Kohei Kinoshita defeated Koji Iwamoto and Brian Ishizaki in 12:51 with a kill switch from Katoge on Ishizaka. I mean, given the origins of all 4 of these men, this was like it was a very good match, but it was like indie-rific.
Yes. It was very much like, I was like, okay, what is this? Is it an Noah show or like a 2008 Osaka Pro show?
Yeah, exactly. But it was solid. It was like a good semi-main event, and Katoge actually gets to win a match for once.
Yeah, that was my take as well. I was like, okay, if Katoge didn't win this one, then I'm really, really worried where he's going to go.
And then in the main event for the 0-1 World Heavyweight Championship, Go Shiozaki Ishikawa in 28:37 with the strong arm lariat for his second. I got a few feelings about this match. First of all, I cannot believe their first meeting was only in front of 245 fans at Shinkiba. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, if this was properly built up, you could have at least main evented a Korakuen, couldn't you?
Yeah, you definitely could have, but again, yeah, they didn't even sell out Trankiba for this, which
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect going in because, I mean, both guys can still turn it up, but also they're showing their age. But,
Mhm.
in the end, I went like just a solid 4 stars on this. I thought this was a very good match in the end. They,
Mhm.
beat the stuffing out of each other, had a good finishing sequence. Probably not what it would have been even 5 years ago, but I really did still enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I went 4 stars on this as well. I thought it was probably about as good as a match between these two can be at this stage of their careers, right? Because
I think if they were in a bigger venue, they more, but I don't blame them for
maybe,
this in front of 245.
yeah,
Geneva.
yeah. I mean, obviously, if you do this like 8 years ago, that's probably a match of the year contender. So, but again, like where they're both at now, like they can't quite go that hard anymore. I think, but they were still very obviously motivated, despite the fact that like it was such a small venue and everything. And yeah, I did kind of low key expect a title change here. Didn't happen, and now we're gonna have Matsunaga as the next challenger. So, do you think Go is willing to drop to a Matsunaga? Or are we going to see this title reign continue?
Well, that's an interesting question. I think Go should job to Matsunaga. I don't even think that's what 0-1 necessarily wants. They probably want Tanaka to win it back.
Probably, yeah, but
probably.
But then again,
they should put it on Matsunaga on the Korakuen show.
Exactly. Like that's the thing. Like you kind of need another guy because you have just Tanaka and you have like nothing else. But then again, they're not really even running shows anymore.
Well, Tochigi is.
Yeah, but like that. My thinking is more like, is 0-1 still a real promotion? Because Tochigi okay. To be fair, Tochigi actually kind of ramped up the schedule a little bit over like the last
November.
month or so.
They had 4 shows in November. They've had one in December. It was 3 match shows, main event. Junya Matsunaga and Tsukitaka Sato defeated Chris Weiss and Satsuki Nagao.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting from Tochigi. These are 3 match shows. What I'm seeing.
Yeah. So I'm very much like is that like a real, like if you go to like that they ran a show at a fish market.
Classic.
So
I
don't know. I don't know. Like that's the other thing where I'm like, yeah, maybe they should try and build other guys, but then again,
what's the point?
Are they even a real? Yeah, are they even a real promotion? That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, those guys are still loyal to it, like the Matsunagas and Tsukitaka Sato and all them. Seemingly, anyway. I don't see them. I don't see these guys pop up anywhere else except for Limit Break and Tochigi. So we shall see. But I mean, ideally, you want to make Matsunaga the next guy. I mean, he's already won the Fire Festival too.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, ideally that's the way to go, but I can't. I wouldn't bet on him beating Go.
No, it would be very weird. But again, somebody has to put like that's the thing. Like what's really Noah's like incentive here to have like Go Shiozaki lose to Junya Matsunaga, right?
Yeah, exactly. So then we move on to the Monday Magic Autumn Final. That was on November 25th at Shinjuku Face, and we never got attendances for these, but I mean they definitely draw like rowdy crowds. I'll give them that. Like the hardcore Noah. So we start off with Uka Sasaki and Junta Miyawaki versus Go Shiozaki and Atsushi Katoge, which went to a 15-minute time limit draw. I actually thought this was a pretty good opener. Although I'm a little the booking of Sasaki has been inexplicable in these past couple of shows. I don't know why he just submitted Katoge here.
Yeah, like he's like literally like headlining your biggest show of the year, and you can't even beat Atsushi Katoge in 15 minutes. Gerard, I don't fancy his chances against the current WWE US champion in that match.
No, neither do I. And then we had a 5-way match. Daga defeated Hayata, Eita, Amaska, and Alejandro when Eita pinned Alejandro with the Imperial Uno. I mean, this was just a quick spot fest, not much. Just about sort of building up to Daga versus Eita on January 1st. And then Bozilla and Nagisi Nozaki versus Great Sakui and Takumi Aroha went to a double countout in 13-10. I don't know what the politics of this are because Nozaki or any of them couldn't do jobs here. But I actually thought this was a pretty good match, and I thought Aroha versus Bozil was.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed this a lot more. I have to say the women's wrestling has been pretty decent on this season, except for obviously the battle royal was a bit awkward.
Yeah, it was a slog. And then Naomichi Marufuji defeated Yu Owada in 10:05 with the Tiger Flosion, and I thought this was really solid. And adding more to my why I love Yu Owada so much.
Yeah. Also, again, seemed like another one of those guys where Marufuji very obviously likes the guy as well. I really hope it works out better this time around. Because the last guy Marufuji really liked then ended up molesting a woman and got fired like 3 months later. So I hope that doesn't repeat itself this time.
God, yeah. And then next up, Alhio Dr. Wagner Jr., Galeno Del Mal, Dragon Bane, and Alpha Wolf defeated Titus Alexander, Kevin Blackwood, Vinny Massaro, and Anthony Green in 17:01 with the moonsault press from Wagner on Massaro. And this was the surprise of the show because this is pretty damn good and a lot of fun. They really played into the Mexico versus USA vibe of it all too.
Yeah. No, I love this one. And this was actually my favorite match on the show. Just all action nonstop, just bodies flying everywhere and just everybody working hard too. And yeah, I agree as well. Like the whole like Mexico versus US vibe and all of that. Yeah, no, I was very happy with this match and I very much enjoyed it too.
And then in the main event for the GH heavyweight title, Kaito Kiyomiya defeated Brian Kendrick in 18:55 with the figure 4 pinfall. Paul, are we going to disagree on this match? Because I thought it was like good, but not great, but pretty solid. But I know there were saying that it was like crap.
I did not like this. Okay, so I have to start with the first thing here. How do you okay the use of a burning hammer in Shinjuku face?
Yes, fair.
And that not even being it wasn't even like a close near fall. Like it wasn't a deep 2 count, it was just a regular 2 count. This is like just very intensely disrespectful to one of the biggest legends of this promotion. Because I feel very confident that nobody went to the I'm tired. I literally blanked on his name just now. Nobody went to come on, the 4-pillar, the guy that invented the burning hammer.
Kenta Kobashi.
Yeah, Kenta Kobashi. Sorry, yeah, that's what I mean. It was a literal complete brain fart. Nobody went to Kenta Kobashi, right? And asked him, it's like, hey, can I use your like super finisher that nobody's ever kicked out of? And can I use it in this like minor show in the secondary building in this like match we build up on a week in my first match in like 11 years in Japan, and also won't even be a close near fall? Are you okay with that? I don't know. To me, this just I already thought the match wasn't super great. I thought there were a lot of like boring Kendrick like US style like rest holds where he just like there was some fun stuff, but then other times Kendrick again just ground the match to a halt to like just do rest holds in the middle of the ring, and I felt like I'm watching a WWE match. And then the burning hammer happened, and I'm just like, no, fuck this. Like, no, that's just completely inexcusable. It's just disrespectful to the history of the promotion. Like, if they talked about it in the back, somebody should have stepped in and told them, no, you can't do that. If Kendrick just did that in the flow of the match, then like fucking banish him forever. No, I didn't like this.
Well, Paul, maybe if that is the case, then he will not be back.
I actually low-key think that something like that might have happened, right? Because we had the whole weirdness of them being like, we're gonna reveal X, who's going to be Jack Morris's X on the January 1st show. And then it came out and we're like, well, actually, you're not worth it for us to tell you who X is, and we're gonna reveal it like a lot later now, where I feel like, did whoever you actually picked out for X just fall through and you had to scramble at the last minute and find somebody else?
No, because...
And I think it might have been Kendrick, if that's the case.
No, I don't think. I think it was going to be an accident. Depends on who they end up getting. Look, if it's some like random guy that's about as Brian Kendrick, then I will say you were correct.
Yeah.
If it's someone
So
of a bigger name, which I very much suspect it is, although I have no clue who it is, I think though it was not going to be Kendrick ever.
okay. I mean, fair enough. I'm also a lot happier with that option anyway, since I don't know. I just don't think he really like blew me away in this match. Like even outside of the whole like Burning Hammer issue, he was okay. I will give him that. Like he was a little better than I expected him to be, but again, there was also a lot of just North American stylings, like WE styling specifically in his wrestling as well, that I just don't like.
Okay. I mean, my point was I was expected. Look, I'd heard all of the bad things that I saw the cage match reviews, and I was like, okay, well, this was fine, decent. But actually, I guess the rest holds. Although I somewhat am usually bothered by them. I guess I just came into this with very low.
Oh no, fair enough. I think because I literally watched it live, and when I saw him, because I already was like, I knew that Kendrick used the Burning Hammer. And I'm like, yeah, but there's no way he's gonna do that in Noah, and then he did it, and I just flipped my shit.
And so that was the last Monday Magic for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not see any of the show on the 30th, the day show, because Tuesday Shinagawa Prince Hotel Club X did not see that first show.
Real quick on the Monday Magic season in general. I will say that it was the weakest of the Monday Magic season so far. I still overall enjoyed it. I just thought the others were like a lot more inventive and creative, and that was missing from this season.
They had a lot more surprises.
Yeah, with this season we got like Brian Kendrick.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but we'll get to more about that in a second. Actually, when it shows, so we didn't see the first show of the day, and which was main evented by Kaito Kiyomiya versus Harutoki, which probably was pretty decent, but I don't know, it was all just singles matches, like Manabu Soya versus Yohei, 15-minute time limit draw. Go Shiozaki versus Kai Fujimura. Jack Morris versus Tadasuke. Keno versus Yodo Kikuchi. Uka Sasaki versus Alejandro. And Masa Kitamiya versus Hayata. Oh, God. And then on the evening show, all I saw was the main event, which was Naomichi Marufuji and Takashi Sugera versus defeating Hio to Dr. Wagner Jr. in Galeno Del Mal in 2024 with an inside cradle from Marufuji on Galeno. It was solid. I just didn't think it really kicked into that next time.
Yeah. No, I had way higher expectations for this. When I saw that, I was like, okay, this probably should be really good, and it was just kind of okay. It was just kind of there.
Yeah.
I mean, again, with Marufuji and Segura kind of going into the Big Show as champions, and the brothers facing each other there.
Yeah.
I would just say that just for me just fuels the fire more.
Sure. Absolutely.
That Wagner's going, right?
I will say though, I thought the Segura versus Wagner stuff was actually the best part of the match.
Yeah. Oh no, that was by far the best. Yeah, because with Galeno, he's obviously very spectacular, but I think he needs a lot more. He needs a lot more work. Like, I mean, again, makes sense. Like, there's like 10 years between them, between the brothers.
Galeno also has to work on his head crank spot. You know, the spot where he like adjusts his head.
Yeah.
His does not look as smooth as his brother's.
No, definitely does not. No. I also don't think he has. But then again, his brother only found his charisma like a couple of years ago, really. Like, it took him a while to really get there.
Yeah, it took Wagner a bit to get in there, but he got there. So, I mean, look, he's the son of Dr. Wagner Jr., grandson of Dr. Wagner. I am pretty confident in Galeno Del Mal's upward trajectory. He's just got to.
Oh, absolutely.
So then there was a show on December 1st that Shinjuku faced in front of 340 fans. I didn't see anything except for the main event, which is Manabu Soya versus Shuji Kondo, or defeated Shuji Kondo in 1640 with his implant DDT to make his third defense of the GHC national title. Again, very solid. It didn't really kick into high gear that much until the end, but they did lariat the crap out of each other, and then Kondo was working over the arm. If you are a big fan of either of these guys, watch it, but it's not like absolutely must watch, but a pretty good match.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty good match overall. I think the Sawyer title reign has been pretty good so far. With Shuji Kondo, I think he just is what he is at this point, right? Like, he's just not going to give you like the super high end effort anymore. and that was kind of evident here as well. Still solid defense. I'm really looking forward to like him versus like Soya versus Kitamiya. I think that's going to be really interesting. Again, I actually watched the entire show, but like really the only things kind of worth talking about is like, again, the booking of Sasaki being weird, where like he goes to like a double KO with Marufuji, but like you'd think they seem to be really hesitant of actually like building him up for the main event. Like it's very bizarre.
Weird because they put the title on him very briefly. Now this is just really bad booking.
Yeah, no. And then obviously you had like the Team 2000X, which I think it was on this show where they said that like we're not gonna tell you who X is. Yeah. Oh, actually, I forgot while we were talking about X. Actually, I do have a because my feeling was like either it was like the original plan might have been like Brian Kendrick and then they pivoted. But if that never was the plan, I actually have a strong feeling that Sugiura and Marufuji are actually having a match at Dragon Gate's Final Gate show. And they're in a match against Shun Skywalker. So I'm actually thinking that X might be Shun Skywalker.
Okay. That would be that would certainly help Team 2000X.
Yeah.
I was thinking though, I don't support this kind of booking, but it would be hilarious troll if it was just Yoshitatsu.
I mean,
think about the heat that would generate.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to be fair, they did say that in the promo that it's not Yoshitatsu. But actually, you know what would be the most like American style booking?
What?
Is if X is Anthony Green.
Yes. That is some like Vince Russo.
It's a swerve, bro.
Nonsensical swerve. Yeah, sure. I don't know. You think it could be WWE guy?
You want to announce that though, because they're not announcing it until the 28th.
Okay.
Like they said they're gonna announce it on the 28th. That's like if it is somebody like a WWE guy, you ideally wanna like announce early to sell some tickets. So I don't think it's a WWE guy. Yeah.
I kind of think Morris and X are winning.
Yeah. No, because this reign has already gone on for longer than I expected it to.
And I also expect that Ada's going to beat Daga. So unless you're pulling the plug on Team 2000X, you got to give him.
Yeah, I think we might actually get a sweep of like all new champions.
Oh, really?
Because Kitamiya has never beaten Soya in a singles match.
Okay. I feel like it's not time to end that reign.
I agree, but I don't know. I think the fact that he's never beaten him, right?
We love Manabu Soya more than Nosawa does.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And look, I see the logic in doing an Ozawa victory, but I don't like the fact that he's been on the shelf and he comes back and wins the title. If he wasn't injured, I would probably be more okay.
But I mean, to be fair, if he's winning the title, then that was the long-term plan, right? Yeah. Like I don't think they like pivoted recently to like put the belt on him. And then I can't fault them for not wanting to like deviate from that just because he was injured.
That's very Tony Khan book.
Yeah. So
Well, since we already started talking the show, let's get into the Noah previews. But before we get to December or January 1st, we've got December 19th at Korakuen Hall, the Triple Summit, which is Monday Magic and Limit Break in Noah. Someone was bringing up, I think this is just a rumor, but Nosawa and Go do not get along very well, and this is why Limit sort of makes sense. But I mean, again, I don't know how much, but I could believe it, absolutely, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Right. Those don't seem like people that have very similar philosophies of pro wrestling.
No. So there's a bunch of there's 2 Monday Magic sponsored matches, they say. And then Limit Break sponsored match, 6-man tag, Muhammad Yone, Atsushi Katoge, and the Reeve Mask versus Hajime Ohara, Koji Iwamoto, and Black Menso Ray. And then we've got just a tag match. No one is sponsoring this. Manabu Soya and Kazuyuki Fujita versus Masa Kitamiya and Daiki Odashima. Paul, the dream match that we're all been waiting for. Wait, that's right. Kaito Kiyomiya versus Yoshitatsu.
Yes. I mean, hey. Remember like how Yoshitatsu had that weird like chemistry with Suwama, and their matches were always better than you expected them to be.
Yeah.
Maybe he has that with Kaito. You can hope, right?
I mean, it's also
Hope-
Kaido.
Yeah.
I cannot rule out that this is a good match. That's absolutely, but it could be full of bullshit.
Hope dies last. Hope dies last.
But it could also be full of bullshit, like cheating.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Paul, my suggested troll booking finish for this match is Kaido gets DQ'd for kicking too much ass.
Oh god, yeah, like Ozawa like runs in and like is doing something, and then Kaito gets distracted and then gets disqualified or something. Yeah, I can totally see them do something like that.
Like Ozawa runs in with a chair, Kaido grabs a chair and like smashes Yoshitatsu with the chair.
To be fair, that actually would be kind of cool if they do that, where Kaito just snaps and just starts beating the shit out of Yoshitatsu.
That would rule, actually. Okay, I've taught myself. It's actually a good idea. And really, what I think is the draw of the show: Limit Break sponsored singles match, Go Shiozaki v Nagata.
Yeah, more old man violence.
Yeah, let's go. I'm glad this is in Corkin because that will generate a lot of heat.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got another Noah Full. It's called Noah Full Gift. It's a tag match and no one has been announced. And then another Noah Full Gift 6-man tag match. And it's on one side Kaito Kiyomiya and 2 surprises versus Mandibu.
Sure, why not?
So, but like, is it going to be All Rebellion? And is, Fujita, who's been tagging with Soya, going to be one of them? I don't, but they haven't told.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to talk about as well that Harutoki joined All Rebellion.
Oh, yes, Harutoki did join All Rebellion, which is a very good sign.
Yeah.
And a good sign for
him.
him.
I think he's signed, like, because they moved him to like the.
Yeah.
He was on the like no regular roster page before he joined All Rebellion, so I think he's definitely signed now, or very likely going to if he isn't yet.
Yeah. So we'll go to Noah the New Year on January 1st at Budokan, and again, in all of their genius, they're doing the Abima. I forgot the name. Sorry. The Abima pay-per-view again, which is only available in the U.S., Japan, the Philippines, and
Thailand, South Korea, Philippines, US. I think that's it. I think that might be one that I'm forgetting.
It is funny because there is wrestling fans in Southeast Asia that are not included on that list. I'm thinking like Malaysia's got a wrestling scene, but I don't think they're.
Singapore has a wrestling scene. Taiwan has a wrestling scene as well.
Yeah. So I'm just surprised it's not even in Asia. It's not available.
No, I guess it's like a rights thing.
Yeah.
But again, even because you're in North America, you have like the US, but then you don't you have a shitload of Mexican wrestlers. Like, how do you not have like Mexico included there?
No Mexico or Canada.
Yeah.
No UK. Well, there's not. Well, I mean UK. You got Jack Morris.
Yeah.
Just
you have Mike D Vecchio. He could have Belgium.
Oh, they just ran some shows in the.
Yeah. Oh yes. They ran a show in Germany.
Yeah, they can't make it available, and all these places have like long wrestling. It makes no sense unless there's very convoluted legal reason that someone.
Now, to be fair, I don't think this is a Noah decision. This is a very obvious Abima call from up above. I assume if you were asking, because that's the other thing, right? We know Wrestle Universe can do pay-per-views because they've done it before.
Right.
I am very certain if Noah had a choice, they'd do it as a pay-per-view on Wrestle Universe.
Anyway, we got a dark match. Noah the Rumble. Daiki Odashima, Yu Owada, Harutoki, Shuhei Taniguchi, Tadasuke, and Yuto Kaku. My only prediction is Taniguchi's going to get eliminated by a Jew.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match is Ghetto booking this because you've got your big January show and it's a 3-way. It's
everybody on the card.
Hada and Yohei versus Amatsuka and Junta Miyawaki versus Alejandro and Kai Fujimura. And Paul, I would belt up Junta and Amatsuka.
Yeah, I would as well. I think Junta desperately just needs something to do, and I think, just put the belt on him and actually let him do something for once.
Well, also Amatsuka, who you pushed as your junior ace not that long ago.
Yeah. He was a champion not that long ago.
Well, yeah, briefly.
Yeah.
8-man tag match, New Year Limit Break, Go Shiozaki, Muhammad Yonhei, Atsushi Katoge, and Hajime Ohara versus Kazuyuki Fujita, Shuji Ishikawa, Tetsuya Endo, and Black Menso. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it's a good match,
singles match, brother versus brother, Ahio to Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Galeno Del Mal, and this could be Swan Song, you gentlemen.
I mean, I don't think it's Galeno's swan song, but I think Galeno is sticking around.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think. Well, I don't. Everyone says Wagner to WWE. There's been actually
No.
people just somehow think that that's where he's going.
It just feels like it, right?
Yeah.
I also can't really describe why. I think he's going there. But I mean, it makes sense in itself for us. Like, obviously WWE has like a relationship with Noah. So they probably like have like, and the other thing as well is like, AEW is now very much like hooked up with like CMLL.
Yeah.
So, and the Wagners are more like AAA guys. So I think it just makes more sense for him to go to WWE.
Yeah, for sure. And then we've got Noah 25th anniversary special, because we are heading into the 25th anniversary of Noah. Now that started in August of 2000, so I assume they probably should do a Budokan one. So we got Keno versus Kenta. I'm into it, and I might have to eat my words, but I feel like Kenta might turn it up now that he's back in Noah for a night.
I mean, he did last time, right?
Yeah, but that was like 2 years ago now.
Yeah, because then he had that shitty like American style hardcore match with Tanahashi that just completely destroyed his body even further. Yeah, it really did, because that's really when the Tanahashi decline started, and then Kenta was out for a while with like injuries.
That was the most dramatic decline of time.
Yeah, and the match sucked too. That one made me angry.
GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship match, Daga versus Ada. I mean, you bring up a good point, Paul. Maybe Team 2000X sweep, but I just feel like it's Ada's time.
Oh no, not Team 2000X sweep, but all new champion sweep. Like we're gonna see every title change. Yeah.
Right.
So no, I do fully expect Ada. Again, I did the whole. I feel like I'm literally beating myself because I already did this last year. But no, this time definitely he's going to win. This time definitely he's going to do it.
Yeah, and then GHC National Championship match: Amanda Busoya versus Masa Kitamiya. I guess I'm really looking forward to this. I think Soya should retain, but Kitamiya winning is very possible.
I think this has a very good chance of being the best match on the show.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Because I do like the card, but I'm like struggling to think which of these would be like a high-end match, right?
I wouldn't rule out the main event, but I'm not 100% confident.
Yeah.
So Naomichi for GHC tag team titles, Naomichi Marufuji, Takashi Sugiura versus Jack Morrison X. We've already been over that. And then double main event, of course, because it's January 1st at Budokan, so Noah's got to do a double main event. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Oka Sasaki, which we think we know where this.
Yeah, I mean, it's very obvious, and yeah, as we said, it's weird that they haven't even pretended that like it's going they haven't even pretended that it's going to be like in doubt who's going to win here, because they didn't even build up Olka.
Well, Sasaki should be like submitting people in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. No,
especially since he's going to be losing that match.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. Like, I mean, I guess maybe they're gonna hopefully do something with him then afterwards, but yeah.
And then your double event number 2, GHC Heavyweight Championship, Kaito Kiyomiya versus Ozawa, and we already sort of just went over that. Yeah, I guess you can't rule it out.
Again, you would have to because this Kaito reign hasn't really been amazing, right? So I don't think you might as well try something, right? Like if it doesn't work, you can just take the belt off of him quickly as well. That's fine.
And I was going to say, I'm concerned about Ozawa getting Inamura from this as well, because he comes back, he gets the big match. Even if he performs well, then he just goes back to
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit more confident because he is in Team 2000X, right? Because Inamura just didn't have anything to fall back on, whereas at least Ozawa has something to fall back on. But like what I'm more worried about is obviously I really like Ozawa and I like what I've seen of him in Europe and all of that, but he's never been in a pole position even remotely as big as this.
Nothing like this at all.
Like even his biggest match, for example, here in Germany, it wasn't even the main event. It was a title match for GWF's secondary belt. He was challenging for the Berlin title, and that was the match before intermission. So like it was really over and the match was really good. But again, that's obviously significantly smaller of like a venue and just pressure and all of that than like main eventing Budokan.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So we shall see, but it's going to be a big test. If he passes it, could have something with him for sure, because they definitely need.
For sure.
So before we go to All Japan, Paul, we got some breaking news. We got Tokyo Sports Awards for 2024.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen them yet?
Yes, I have them in front of me.
So we've got MVP Zack Sabre Jr. I believe that the second foreigner to win MVP after Bob Sapp. I don't think Kenny Omega ever won it. I don't think Omega did.
I don't know off the top of my head if he ever did. Like that's like the only other one I could even imagine would have won this. But yeah. I mean, big achievement anyway. And also, it was kind of obvious it was going to be him.
I know that Sapp won.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he never won. He won 3 best bouts, obviously best bout machine, and then the technique award. So that's a huge accomplishment for Sabre.
Yeah.
Best bout, Yota Tsuji versus Hiroki Goto from March 20th. That was the New Japan Cup.
I mean, that was good. I don't know if I would give it best match, but these are always kind of like handed out a bit proportionally. Yeah.
I'm just surprised they didn't go with the bigger names.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like you probably could have just given it to like Naito versus Sabre, but I guess maybe they didn't want to put 2 things on Sabre.
Although I suppose that might augur well for.
Yeah, for sure.
Tag team. I mean, there is no question.
No, not a contest. Yes, especially not after the Real World Tag League.
That's right. The Saito brothers.
No, well deserved. Like just phenomenal year for them. Just might actually, I would actually say you could vote for like the Saitos as like MVP as a tag, like right, like as a tag team, they are like the overall MVP. Not even as best tag team, but like as the MVP.
Well, they won the newcomer award last year, so they Tokyo Sports likes them. So I expect them to get other awards. Okay, so now we get into all the political awards, consolation prizes. Outstanding performance, Yuma Anzai. Fighting spirit, Kaito Kiyomiya. Technique, Shinya Aoki. I think this is a bit of an accomplishment for the newcomer because it's Oleg Boltin. And I'm just looking at newcomers. Okay. I do not see a foreigner. Oh, wait, that's not true. Okay, so the history of foreigners in the newcomer awards is Akibono in 2005 and John Tenta in 1987.
What? Oh, 1987. Sorry, I heard that as 97. Like, what? Why would you give that to Tenta 97? But 87, that actually makes sense.
Yes. And then more. Oh, women's Sari, which is also like
obvious. Yeah, that's the right call there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, interesting. Some history made and everything like that. And well, so All Japan got more awards than Noah.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
I mean, to be fair, I think it was a relatively strong year for. Like what I will say was like a relatively strong year for Noah. There wasn't really any like super high profile stuff either, right? Like I guess maybe you could say like Yu Owada for like newcomer, like maybe the only other one.
Yeah, for sure. I guess he would probably have to be in the running. They sometimes release the voting, so I'll have to take a look. But I'm also not. Bolton seems like a throwback guy though. Like I said, if Bolton came around 30 to 40 years or 40 years ago, he would be like main eventing again by now.
Oh, 110%. Like I'm surprised Inoki hasn't like risen from the grave to like challenge him to a match on Korakuen.
Yeah. So then now we go on to Real World Tagling, which is basically the second half of it. So we start off real quick. We're not going to go over every match. We're just going to pick out what we enjoyed. So on the 20th of November at Shinagawa Prince Hotel Stellar Ballroom in front of 715 fans, I thought on this show the best match was Jun Saito and Rei Saito defeating Daisuke Sekimoto and Kengo Mashimo in 15 with the barbecue bomb from Rei on Sekimoto.
Yeah, I actually have to go with that one as well. I thought that was the best match as well, just like kind of four beefy guys just slamming into each other. I really enjoyed that.
It was
one.
nice to see Sakamoto in there with the Saitos was fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's man, like maybe that's the one thing that can get Yuji Okabayashi to come out of like his like weird like hiatus / retirement.
Strong BJ versus the Saito.
Oh God, come on.
Have that match in Sendai.
Please.
Oh.
Yes.
I guess I'll give a quick shout out to Hokuto Omori and Kuma Arashi defeating Shotaro Ashino and Dan Tamura in 1402 when Arashi pinned Ashino with a diving senton. I actually thought that was also a pretty solid match. And I just wanted to bring that up because I was looking forward to this Ashino and Tamura team, but they didn't have any really great matches and they finished crappily points.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for them because I was expecting more out of them.
No, but it's very obvious Dan is moving to heavy, right?
They had some solid matches, no question, but they did not have any. And I was
I have one match of theirs that I really liked, so that will come up later. Yeah.
Let's go to the 23rd. I would just like to say that Suwama and Hideki Suzuki versus Jiro and Sego was actually kind of fun.
For what it was, yes.
Yeah. There was a 6-man title match as well, which is Hokuto Omori, Kuma Arashi, and Cyrus defeating Ryo Inoue, Masayuki Kono, and Ryoji Hijikata. Basically, like Inoue bringing back some All Japan legends.
That's
yes. With at 11:47 with a diving senton from Arashi on Inoue. It was fine, but I'll just bring that up because it was a title match that wasn't part of the. Rising Hado and Yuma Anzai defeated Musashi and Seki Yoshioka in 12:38 with the gimlet from Anzai and Yoshioka. Not as good as their All Asia tag title match, but a solid match of the tournament.
Yeah, still really good.
And
I really liked it, but I agree that it wasn't as good.
Yeah. And then Ryuki Honda and Ren Ayabe, this is the main event. Ryuki Honda and Ren Ayabe defeated Kento Miyahara and Davey Boy Smith Jr. in 1954 with the final event from Honda on Miyahara for the big win. And this sort of got me thinking that these guys were going to go to the finals, but
nope.
Spoiler alert, they did not, but this was also a very good match.
Yeah. One thing I will say, though, I really enjoyed the match and everything. And I do think actually Honda and Ayabe have actually become a pretty good team. Like I was sad that they broke up like New Period, seemingly.
Yeah.
But I do think like Honda and Ayabe have actually developed pretty good chemistry. One thing, though, with Honda, and it kind of basically is what I talked about like earlier about direction, right? And we were talking about maybe this promotion goes a bit too heavy into comedy because Honda did the weird dance again after he won the main event.
Yeah.
But like I didn't mind that when he did it after he beat like Yuma, right? Because it seemed like he was mocking his music, whereas now it just seems like it's a thing he's doing.
Yep.
And you never like he's supposed to be like a bruiser, right? And you don't want your like bruiser to be the guy that does the silly dance.
This is going to become a comedy promotion.
Yeah, but even DDT doesn't do this to like its main eventers. That's the other thing, though.
I know. Yeah. But what are you going to do? I mean, I hope he's put in a real serious, like if he had done this, if he had won the tournament and done this, I would have freaked out.
Like dancing in front of the trophy.
Yeah, exactly. And the cover of hey, did you see the cover of Weekly Fight? It was actually a split picture of both Naito and Hiromu and the Sato brothers both winning the tournaments.
Yeah.
Which I thought
yeah. No, I mean it is nice when like the bigger stars are like sharing the page with others as well. So it was a very nice thing of the Saitos to do.
Yes. Look, I think the fact that Shupro would do that is a sign of the Saitos' power.
Yeah, I mean they're getting their own TV show.
Yeah, where they go around and cook food and eat it. And
that's such a good idea.
And it's also supposed to show off their like funny and charming. Right?
I want to watch that. I think that seems really fun actually.
Yeah. Well, look, and I noticed that they're doing more public appearances than Kento is.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're very close to becoming the face of that company. The faces of that company.
I mean, I think one of them is going to be Triple Crown champion before the year is over.
Oh, okay. Okay, well we'll get into that in a bit. Where was I? Was there? Oh, and then on the 24th at Nagoya International Conference Hall, they only did 689 fans here, which I guess it's like in the middle of the tournament in the dog days because they can sell this place out at like or come close to it. Like often do over 900 here. I wouldn't take that as a particular thing.
No, it's also like the main event. Like you had like Jiro and like Tachibana in the main event. That's
Yeah. I would say Rising Hado and Yuma Anzai versus Shotaro Ashino and Dan Tamura, and Anzai pinned Tamura with the gimlet in 12:36. That was actually pretty good on the show, I thought. Suwama and Hideki Suzuki defeating Reiki Honda and Ren Ayabe. We're basically going through this whole show now because I thought it was a good show. They beat the Alpida team in 15:26 with a backdrop suplex from Suwama and Honda. Again, this might have been one of the best Suwama and Hideki's tag team matches of this entire team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like it was a low bar to begin with, but they had like their best matches in this tournament because they didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're somewhat going out strong as a team, because I assume this team is done now since Suwama's like semi-leaving.
Yeah, or they'll wrestle once a month.
Yeah,
if Hideki hangs around, and I'm gonna say it, I want Hideki.
Yeah.
Kento
Works really well with the
Miyahara-
comedy direction as well.
Yes, it does. Main event: Kento Miyahara and Davey Boy Smith Jr. defeated Kuroshi of Tokyo Japan and Seigo Tachibana in 22:12 with the shutdown German suplex on Miyahara from Miyahara and Tachibana. And you know what, Paul? This is a good match.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, like I know you look at it and you see Jiro and it's like, I don't know how good this is going to be, but Tachibana is just really fucking good.
Yeah. And I'll say this, for a 22-minute match against two much larger men, especially Smith, I thought, it was built well and it all made sense. And like, they worked to like weaken Smith when after like that. So
yeah.
I thought it worked well in the end. And then on the 30th, they were at Osaka Eddie on number 2 in front of 870 fans, which is, they only ever max out here at like 930. So that's, I'd say.
And again, not exactly a killer main event for this one either.
Oh no. Jun Sato and Rei Sato defeated Shotaro Ashino and Dan Tamura in 16:22 with the psycho break from Jun on Tamura. Actually, you know what? This might have been the match.
Yeah, because that's actually what I wanted to talk about. This team didn't have like I thought this was by far their best match. I really I think that was one of the best. Like I would go so far as to say that's one of the best matches of the whole tournament. Like I just really liked like the structure as well, right? Because normally the Saitos are like always like in control, whereas here they were like a lot more like vulnerable in this match, where like Ashino and Dan actually like had a decent like. They controlled like a decent percentage of the tournament. And I was like, if that's like of the match, I mean, like if that's how like these two like would always work as a team, I think they actually have a lot of potential to be a really good team. So no, I really like this match.
Yeah. Looking back, I forgot about this match, but then I'm like, oh, right. That was a really good match. And the other match on this show, well, I'll just go quickly. Daisuke Sakamoto, Kego Mishimo defeated Makoto Oishi and Mike D Vecchio in 6:43. There's nothing to this.
No, I was a bit disappointed. I'm not gonna lie.
And then the real world main event was Kento Miyahara and Davey Boy Smith Jr. defeating Hikaru Sato and Yuko Miyamoto in 20:29. Suplex from Miyahara and Sato. Paul, it wasn't bad though, but it didn't feel like a main event.
No, it really did not. Like I'd almost look at like the rest of the tournament matches here, and I'm like, actually, any of these would have made more. Like, why is Saitos versus like Ashino and Dan not the main event here? Like, that's such a bigger match.
And then we had on the 1st of December at the Yanago Convention Center in front of 465 fans. Well, there was Reiki Honda and Ren Ayabe defeated Hikaru Sato and Yuko Miyamoto with a death roulette on Sato. It was fine, but I didn't think there was much to it. Then we had Aoyagi and Fuminori Abe defeating Kuroshi of Tokyo Japan and Seigo Tachibana in 13:55. I did not love it.
No, a lot of comedy.
Yeah.
Which I kind of expected going into it.
Of course, yeah. Daisuke Sakamoto and Kengo Mashimo defeated Shotaro Ashino and Dan Tamura in 11:16 with a big bang catastrophe from Sakamoto on Tamura. I actually thought that was a solid little match. Like, if you put Dan and Ashino in there with the right teams, they do deliver.
Yeah.
Suwama and Hideki Suzuki defeated Cyrus and Hartley Jackson in 14:03 by referee stop. And Suwama put Jackson in the Manriki sleeper. They should have cut a couple minutes off this, although it wasn't. Jun Sato and Rei Sato defeated Hokuto Mori and Kumarashi in 19:22 with the barbecue bomb from Rei Anomori. I enjoyed this, but I don't think you have to go out of your way and watch it.
No, but yeah, definitely. Actually, we're talking about people that maybe should get signed now that there's like a spot open up. Like Kumarashi, I think, has like earned himself a contract.
Oh yeah, over everything since he came and started free
Yeah.
the Wrestle One. I mean, he really, and he was clearly a guy they called when they needed somebody too. Like,
Yeah.
didn't someone get injured and then he hadn't been there for a while, and then Arashi just popped up like that?
I think so. I don't remember. Didn't they call him back when? No, I don't remember. Yeah, definitely something like that happened. Yeah.
And then at Shinkiba on 5th of December in front of 339 fans, super no vacancy full house.
Yeah, Cyrus a bigger draw than Go Shiozaki or Shuji Ishikawa.
Yeah. Musashi and Seki Yoshioka defeated Shotaro Ashino and Dan Tamura 9-15-10. Ichiru from Musashi on Tamura. I was expecting more out of this match from these.
Yeah, this was probably one of the most disappointing matches, not gonna lie.
Not bad, but it's just like, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I think the problem was they didn't get enough time. Like it was sub 10 minutes as well.
Speaking of sub 10 minutes, Hikaru Sato and Yuko Miyamoto defeated Suwama and Hideki Suzuki in 6:38 when Suwama was counted out.
Yeah.
Suwama's long tenure in the Real World Tag League ends by getting counted out.
Against Hikaru Sato and Yuko Miyamoto in a comedy match.
The crowd popped for that count out though.
Yeah, they did.
And then Real World Tag League, Makoto Oishi and Mike D Vecchio defeated Hokuto Omori and Kumarachi when Oishi pinned Omori. Again, way too short. You can't really do anything.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Shinkiba again. That's like the hardcores of the hardcores. Like, because I think because you have like Kurikan, that's already like hardcore fans, and you have Shinjuku Face, that's also like a lot of hardcore fans. But those venues are both like Shinjuku Face is literally in the center of town. Like it's next to the biggest train station in the world, and like literally like a night district, right? Nightlife district, like right outside. You can just go drinking with your friends, and then from Kurikan you have like Tokyo Dome City next to it, or you can just be anywhere in Tokyo really quickly. Like Shinkiba, you really have to want to be there.
Yeah, it's like in the docks, right?
Yeah, it's like in the middle of nowhere, and it takes you like a half hour to get back into the city and everything. So no, you have to want to be at Shinkiba first ring.
Well, the All Japan fans always sound like they do, at least the last year or two.
Oh no, it's super fun. If you're in Japan, you need to go to a Shinkiba show because it's super fun.
And then Rising Hato and Yuma Anzai defeated Daisuke Sekimoto and Kengo Mashimo in 13-17 with the gimlet from Anzai and Mashimo. And this was basically for one of the spots in Block A. Whoever won this was going to go into the semis, and it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I thought Anzai and Mashimo worked very well together too. Actually, when I was watching this, like I really want to see a singles match between.
I mean, I think there's a decent chance at least that Mashimo is going to be in the carnival if he's like back with like All Japan, right? If he's like at least somewhat coming back, so I could definitely see. And if he is, then I mean, there's at least a good chance that he's going to be in the same block as Anzai.
Look, I've been talking about this, and some people disagree because All Japan has done mostly pretty well, but especially if Suwama is not going to be a full timer anymore, you really do have to work.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think a lot of the relationships only fell apart because Fukuda lost his mind out of grief. Like that's why I don't want to harp on it too hard because
no, I get it.
The man was literally not well. Yeah,
and he is
and he's recovered now.
He seems to have recovered and rebuilt his relationships with his roster.
Yeah, and I mean, so I could definitely see that. And it seems like they're back to working with Big Japan, which again, that was a really long, fruitful relationship for them. So I could definitely see there will be some outsiders. I could definitely see a Sekimoto if he wants to do it, be back in the carnival.
They could also use the booking.
Yes, very much so. That's the other thing. Yeah, it might not be as much of a can my body withstand this? It's more so I need to do this because this place I've been working at my entire life is going to go out of business otherwise.
And then in the main event, Kento Miyahara and Davey Boy Smith Jr. defeated Cyrus and Hartley Jackson. The Bulldog bomb on Jackson, and this was another semifinal implications for the winter. And yeah, I mean, it was solid. I probably would have flipped this in the main event, to be completely honest with you. But it wasn't bad or anything like that.
No, it did kind of annoy me that Kento and Davey Boy were basically main eventing all of these shows.
Yep. Well, someone has some more power now.
I guess. Oh, Kento! Oh no, Kento's literally going to morph into. Because we were always like, oh yeah, he's a big fan of Hogan, and we never really considered some of the
Well,
implications of that.
considering how many jobs he
To be fair, yes, he has not shown that same. But who knows? He never had this much power either, right? Like maybe Suwama
Yeah.
was literally keeping him in line, and now he's gonna like finger poke of doom like Yuma Aoyagi.
So quickly before we go to the semifinal show, the block standings were Block A, Jun and Ray Saito 12, Rising Hato and Yuma Anzai 8, Daisuke Sakamoto and Kengo Mishimo 7, Hokuto Mori and Kuma Arashi 6, which I would say I'm mildly surprised. I think they did better than I thought.
Yeah.
Makoto Nishi and Mike D Vecchio 4, Musashi and Seki Yoshioka 3, poor Shitaro Shino Dan Tamara.
I did not expect them to come like bottom in the block. Like I thought Musashi and Yoshioka were going to be like bottom of the block.
And Mike.
Yeah.
Block B, Kento Miyahara and David Bush Smith Jr. 10, Ryoki Honda and Ren Ayabe 8, Cyrus and Harley Jackson 6. So these are all 6 points, three-way tie for third. Cyrus and Harley Jackson 6, Yuma Aoyagi and Fuminori Abe 6, Suwama and Hideki Suzuki 6, Hikaru Sato and Yuka Miyamoto 4, and Kuroshio Tokyo Japan and Seigo Tachibana 2. And I'm gonna be honest, I would have thought those last two teams would have actually switched spots.
Really? No, to me this block kind of came down exactly like I expected it to. Like I'm not surprised that Jiro and Tachibana came in last. Like I kind of expect. Like I think I expected them to win a match, which is exactly what they did.
Yeah. So we go to the final show, Real World Tag League Finals on December 8th at Tokyo Korakuen Hall in front of 1,517 fans. Super no vacancy, full house. And Paul, this had sold all its tickets and sold out, and they made an announcement there would be no walk-up tickets the day before.
Which is insane.
They opened up standing room, and those sold out too.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's
the tag team of the year, baby.
Yeah, it really is. Like that's what I mean. Like that's a big accomplishment. And didn't even know that they were going to be in the main event, right? Like people just bought these tickets expecting that the Saitos were going to be in the main event.
So we start off the show with the semifinal. Kento Miyahara and Davey Boy Smith Jr. defeating Rising Hato and Yuma Anzai in 11:26 with the shutdown German suplex hold from Miyahara on Anzai. I'm not surprised that Miyahara and Smith won, but Anzai taking the pin here was a bit of a surprise. But you know, you got to build up Kento, I guess. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, this was pretty good. I don't think it was the best semifinal match, but a good opener. And I thought again, the way that Anzai, I want Anzai and Smith to have a singles match. I like
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon. I think it would require again Davey Boy to like stick around for the carnival as well. But yeah, no, I do think they actually have really good chemistry, and yeah, I was also surprised that Anzai was the one that took the pin here. So curious, like to me, that like at least is like telling me that they might be building to something there with Miyahara and Anzai, which obviously they need to, like they should.
Yeah. And then Jun Sato and Ray Sato in the other semi defeated Raiki Honda and Ren Ayabe in 10:36 with a barbecue bomb from Ray on Ayabe. I thought this was the better semifinal match. Very good action. I think Ray Ayabe slowly but surely improves. I think he's even better than he was like when he faced Yuma Aoyagi for the Triple Crown.
Yeah. Like to be fair, because it was like last year, right, when during the Real World Tag League there, when he really like started to like improve a lot during that tournament. So it always seems like when it's Real World Tag League time, that's when he like starts taking like big steps.
Yeah, for sure. And so then after that, we had Ryo Inoue, Daisuke Sakamoto, and Kengo Mashimo defeating Shotaro Ashino, Dan Tamura, and Taishin Nagao in 6:49 with the crab hold from Sekimoto on Nagao. Not much to it, but it was solid enough. So I'm a little confused here, Paul, with this next match. Are Mike D and Makoto Oishi actually aligned with the Saito brothers?
Well, Oishi is like the Saito's biggest fan, right? Yes. Like that's the whole thing.
They teamed with Senor Saito here. Defeated Musashi Seki Yoshioka and Kuroshio Tokyo Japan when in 7:19 when Vecchio pinned Musashi with a shooting star press, and Mike D was over. Oh
yeah, like he started off the match doing like a tope suicida.
Yeah. So
No, yeah, the crowd
now
loves
pretty
him.
quick, but it was like the Mike D show, and just why, like, bring this man back type thing. And then Baka no Jidai versus the Hokuto Suwama, Yuma Aoyagi, Hideki Suzuki, Hikaru Sato, and Fuminori Abe, defeating Hokuto Omori, Kuma Arashi, Cyrus Hartley Jackson, and Jack Kennedy in 6:54 with the end game from Aoyagi on Arashi. And for whatever reason, Daisuke Sekimoto was a ring attendant on this match.
Yeah.
Did I miss something? Did they do an angle that I missed after this match?
No, I
Went to the washroom
don't
or
remember
something.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Just
remember
like,
anything happening.
why is Sekimoto out here? And the camera went on him and everything, so I don't know.
Oh, well, they didn't announce the match yet, right?
No.
Well, they did do the match announcements that, like, Dan is going to face Daisuke Sekimoto, but again, Dan wasn't in this match, so...
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that in a second. That was, when I saw that, I was like, okay, Sekimoto might be hanging around for a bit. And then to the Gora TV title, speaking of people that might be hanging around, or are now, Gora TV title, Yuko Miyamoto defeated Seigo Tachibana in 15:01 with the moonsault press. Tachibana fails on his V3, and Miyamoto is the 20th champion of the illustrious Gora TV Championship. Again, this is another. I thought this was another Tachibana delivers.
Yeah. No, that was my takeaway as well.
I thought Miyamoto looked better in this match than he did during the tournament.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He looked so much better here.
Yeah, probably motivated or whatever.
I mean, he was also doing like a serious match rather than like doing comedy stuff with Hikaru Sato, which is what he did throughout the entire tournament.
So we've got, and do you think, tying this into the last match, do you think we're going to have another quiet disillusionment of a stable in All Japan, or is this Baka no Jidai going to continue with Yuma Aoyagi? Because now you've belted up Miyamoto.
Yeah.
What else is Aoyagi doing right now?
Yeah, not really anything. Yeah, so I could just see him. Yeah, I could actually see that happening. But it could also just be that they're just quietly retiring at it, because again, that's the All Japan special.
And some news, some other Aoyagi news. I can't remember which match it was after, but the camera zoomed in on Atsuki on commentary, and then his theme played, and then he jumped into the ring and did a flip, and the crowd went wild, and he's on his way back and will return on December 31st, which honestly is a little sooner than I thought, because he completely blew out his knee.
Oh yeah, no, he destroyed his knee completely.
Gone well into 2025, or like, he'd be back in March or so. So that's good. The junior division needs an injection of some talent.
Yeah, they very much need him.
Their champion is currently.
Yeah, which they're not talking about. They're just kind of like, we don't have a junior champion. I know what you're talking about.
Do we have a D on his, or ETA on his return or anything like that?
I haven't heard anything, but obviously it doesn't seem like they're too worried, because I feel like if it was much longer, they would just strip him. Like I do kind of expect them to be like to announce like a junior title match, like for like one of the.
I also wouldn't shock me if they like announce it and then do a decision match or something. I'm going to say this about. We'll get into the preview of the show in a second, but if they got to vacate the title, they should do a one-night 4-man tournament on like either the 31st or on one of those Korakuen shows, because I don't know what they're going to put on those shows.
Yeah.
To fill out the mid card, to be completely honest with you.
No.
So we go to the finals of the Real World Tag League. Jun Sato and Rei Sato defeated Kento Miyahara and Davey Boy Smith Jr. in 23-17 with the Psycho Break on Miyahara. Paul, without a question in my mind, one of the best tag team matches I've seen. One of the best All Japan matches I've seen this year, and probably one of the best matches that Davey Boy Smith Jr. has ever been involved in. Although, to be completely honest, it was Jun and Miyahara here that carried the lion's share of the work. I have said that I think Rei is a better overall worker, but my God, do Jun and Kento have this incredible chemistry that we saw come out in the Champion Carnival finals, and it came out.
Yeah. No, I thought this was amazing as well. Like I went 4 1/4 on it.
I went 4.5.
4.5. Yeah, I mean, kind of borderline. I almost went there as well. But no, I fully agree. Like that's definitely one of the best matches Davey Boy has ever had. Just a great final again. To me, even beforehand, I was like, no, the Fighters are the tag team of the year. But after this one, it's just absolutely not a contest at all. And
well, to be completely fair, to things. It's because tag team wrestling is not doing well in a lot of.
Yes.
That's also.
I mean, that is also true, but like I don't think you really want to like diminish, because I think even if tag team wrestling was stronger elsewhere, I think the Saitos would still win for me, because they've just had an amazing year overall. It's just it's just a no contest because nobody else really had much to like put against it. Like, I don't know. You can't really say that Naito.
How much Dragon Gate have you been watching lately?
I haven't. That might be the one promotion that might actually be rivaling there.
Because I think a lot of people are talking up Kid and Doi.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one team there. And then maybe like Endo, I guess, and Ino. But again, that's not enough there.
I put them in my top 5, but I wouldn't want them.
No, not against like just the body of work that the Saitos have done for the entire year.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, to me, easily the tag team of the year. And I agree as well that like Kento and June just have that like special kind of like chemistry that
pretty boy
energy. Yeah, exactly. It's just a perfect like kind of opponent for Kento as well, right? Because he loves wrestling. Like, again, talking about like the Hogan similarities, where he just loves wrestling these big guys.
Yeah.
And when he like faces somebody that then can like kind of match him really well, like June, then I could very easily see this be a Triple Crown match relatively soon.
Okay, so All Japan owns 2 shows left this year. They got a show on the 15th at Aqua Studio in Chiba, and we've got a card here: Taishin Nagao versus Hideki Suzuki. Honestly, that's a great match for the rookie. I'm not gonna lie. Speaking of which, this other rookie is AWOL still.
Yeah, he isn't even like at ringside and everything. That's
either this is
not a good sign,
or he's not coming. Well, he might not be coming back because that's too bad. But they are holding another open. They're doing another tryout in December. Look, I always think of what Jay Church said on Open the Voice Gate. If companies are recruiting rookies, that's a good sign for their health.
Yeah, because that again takes a lot of like investment, like quite literally money as well.
Yeah,
to like build somebody up where you're never quite sure if they're gonna work out or not. So the fact that they're doing that is a good sign. I mean, again, they literally just like had people literally hanging from the rafters in Gurkhan.
Exactly. And they don't lose as much money as people might think.
Yeah.
It's like in the tens of thousands of dollars or something like that. I think.
But as long as Fukuda is like able to take that hit,
So Jun Sutter and Ray Sutter versus Taro Ishino and Dan Tamura. I think the winners are obvious, but I'm looking forward to a rematch there. Fuminori Abe versus Cyrus. I think you can visualize this whole match in your head.
Yes, actually. It's probably going to be 4 minutes, but I think they definitely could be fun,
Yuma Aoyagi and Seigo Tachibana versus Hokuto Omori and Kuma Arashi. Fun. I think I'm going to call this match part of the Suwama farewell tour, because listen to this team. It's Suwama and Ryuji Hijikata and Andy Wu versus Musashi, Hiroshi Yamato, and Seki.
Okay, that's definitely like, hey, we can bring back some guys from the past. Who do you want?
We've got, and I think this is the main event, not the match, but it seems like it. Kento Miyahara, Davey Boy Smith Jr., and Ryo Inoue versus Yuma Anzai, Ren Ayabe, and Ryuki.
Yeah, that sounds like a main event.
I think that's a pretty darn good main event. And then for the show on the 31st, and we'll talk about this in a second here, we've got Atsuki Aoyagi's return match. We've got an All Asia Tag Team title match, Rising Hato and Yuma Anzai versus Kento Miyahara and Ryo Inoue. We've got.
I could see that go either way, actually.
I don't know. I don't feel like you can cut that Anzai Hayato. They're good, and it's only their second defense. I'd keep it on them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can't really go wrong with either. I think the match is going to be great anyway. Yeah.
But I mean, they're doing photo shoots with Anzai and Hayato. I feel like they got plans.
Yeah.
Well, I know they have plans for them because they were both push talent.
Oh yeah, those photo shoots. Yeah. I mean, it also is very obvious which market they're appealing to with those photo shoots. Of course. Gotta grab that Fujoshi market.
This match is called The Pro Wrestling 24, and the machine translation has it at the capitalized. But I feel like it's somehow the perfect name for this match, because it's Dan Tamura versus Daisuke Sekimoto.
Yeah, no, I'm like, yes, hell yeah. That was like, okay, he's absolutely moving up to heavyweight, like putting him in there with Daisuke
I might
Sakamoto.
look. Sakamoto can still go to an extent. Like he's not like completely broken down. So I'm trying to talk myself out of having unrealistic expectations for this. I kind of like am hyped by it at the same time, right?
Yeah, no, this could be really good.
And then your main event, the Triple Crown. Jun Saito challenges Davey Boy. Now, Paul, you think that Jun might win here, right?
I think Jun is winning, yeah.
Well, I wonder if this is a trading of the wins because Jun beat Smith in Sendai on that show that was main evented by Anzai versus Ray. And that was Jun versus Davey Boy.
Yeah. Because they did also tease a little bit of stuff of like Ray. Like, I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
When they were like walking out, like Ray also made like a motion like towards the belt and everything.
Do you think like could you see a scenario where like Smith beats Jun and then like Ray pops up to challenge him on like this or January?
I could definitely see that happening, yeah.
You know.
So yeah, but I like regardless, I do think like if Jun isn't beating him, then Ray is beating him. So we're still gonna end up with like a Saito as Triple Crown champ.
I feel like they want Jun to be the triple.
Yeah.
I can't rule out Jun winning either, but I'm leaning towards Davey Boy.
Because I don't think he's like holding it for that much longer. Because he only signed a 6-month contract, right? Which should be up soon.
Yeah, he seems to like it there.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like he's trying really hard to get himself over.
So couldn't rule out him hanging around either. And even if not, he just hangs around for another month, right? He could drop it because they got they have a show in February at what's that other arena in like West Tokyo they run? Esforda or something?
Yeah, that's the other one.
They got a show there in February. So I mean I could also see him dropping it there too. So I don't know, but I can't rule out any result. You know, I'm leaning towards one. But Paul, my question is, what do you think of this card so far as a whole?
I think, well, I mean, obviously it can't really get to like the status of last year's, right? Because you just obviously don't have a match. Yeah, that's a one-time thing. You can't really get that back. So I think it's still a fairly solid card. Like I really like the trip. Like ironically enough, probably the one I like the most is like the All Asia Tag Title match.
Yeah.
Like that might be the one I'm looking forward to the most, and then whatever Atsuki is gonna do on his return. So I think overall, like, I mean, what I will say also, like the vibes around the promotion are probably going to be a bit better this time around, because if you remember last year, you had the whole like everybody's leaving, and then all of a sudden here comes what's his face, Finlay's son, and everybody's dooming about like WWE is going to buy all Japan.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't care what anyone says. That Nakajima entrance last year was still fucking incredible.
It was awesome, though. Like that was absolutely my match of the year with like no contest. I literally have shown that match to people that don't watch any wrestling, and they were all like, yeah, this is like, again, they don't watch any wrestling, so they have no background information to like, right? To like who any of these people even are. And they were still like, holy shit, this is amazing. Because the whole vibe, the whole atmosphere just like carries everything by itself that you don't even have to explain anything. So no, I will always, yes, he probably, again, he got the company in problems with that, but it was amazing. So yeah, it was genuinely one of my all-time favorite matches I've ever seen in person. And I think also just in general.
Does this get 2,000 people?
I guess this is the really big to see if the Saitos can draw, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, look, let's see what did last year? It's not going to beat last year. I would be shocked.
No, it's not. Like, I would also be baffled if it does, yeah.
But, what?
Because it definitely didn't sell out. There were a fair few empty
2,687.
Yeah, no, it's not
incredible number for All Japan.
Yeah.
It's if they can get 2,000, I would call that a success. Especially if they don't have especially if they don't announce any big name outsiders for it.
Do you think it's beating the New Japan Best of the Super Junior show there? Because that one did 1,500.
Oh, it could for sure. I thought you were going to say, is it going to beat Wrestle Kingdom? No.
No, no, it can't. It literally, like, they would have to run Yoyogi, like, National Gymnasium 1 to even, like, which, by the way, that is such a cool-ass looking building, like,
It
number
is.
one.
It really is. No one runs that
Yeah.
anymore.
No, nobody does anymore. There was actually a big concert in there last year on the same day.
So yeah, I'm curious about the attendance. I would call 2000 a success. I would think that they're going to beat Best of the Super Juniors, though. I'm saying, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit of doomer's not the word, but like underestimating. But I'm gonna guess 17.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at it because they also ran, like, last year they also ran, like, Kento versus Anza in that building, and that one got 1,675. So I do think kind of with, like, you probably get some traveling fans as well that are coming to, like, Tokyo for, like, the, like, New Year's festivities and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think there is a chance that you probably get like 1,800, something like that. Maybe you break 2,000, depending. Yeah. Because like Stardom did like 1,900 in there.
Oh, okay. That's
That was in 2023. Yeah.
okay. Okay. Well, I'm on the Lawson site. Premium seat, 30,000 yen, sold out. Special ringside, 20,000 yen, sold out. Ringside,
shit.
10,000 yen, only a few left. Reserved seats in the arena, 7,000 yen, only a few left. First floor stand seats, 7,000 yen, sold out. Second floor stand seats, fully available, like the Circle, for those of you that look at the Japanese ticket sites. And then second floor stand seats, the Circle. So that's actually not bad at all.
No, yeah. So at least the floor is going to be pretty. I mean, but that was kind of the case like last year as well.
Yeah.
Right, when like the floor was definitely sold out, and then like the upper rows, there were definitely like still a bit more space because I think you can fit like 5,000 people in there in total.
I think something like
that. Yeah, which is weird that not even New Japan can like get close to that at all, because like if you don't know, like that arena is located very centrally in Tokyo.
Yes, I'm looking at the direction on the website. It's like they have it listed as 5-minute walk from like Harajuku Station.
Yeah, same. Like it's like a 10-minute walk from Shibuya. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's like right, in the city, downtown Tokyo and everything like that. So yeah, there's that too. Maybe they will hit 2,000. I think anything above 2,000 will be a great success for them.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like if they just hit 2,000, I think can call this a very easy success. And then anything sub like 1,500, I would say is disappointing.
Oh, absolutely. They got to do better than.
Yeah, for sure.
So you got to hit at least before I would call that bad. And everything.
I mean, they're definitely beating Noah last time. Noah ran there where they drew like 800 people.
And that's why Abima wants them to do pay-per-view.
Yes.
All right. Paul, any closing thoughts? I guess I should just say the tournament as a whole. I mean, there was some like quote unquote dog days, but I don't think they really dragged too badly. I think that there wasn't really any super kick-ass matches during the tournament, but I think that the floor of the tournament was the highest that it had been.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like the ceiling was pretty low, but the floor was super, super high because there was rarely ever where I thought like the matches were like actively bad or anything like that.
Well, yeah, and it's the fact of the matter is you had you had like a bigger, more teams, a more solid. There was no one in this tournament that really sucks except for me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like there was nobody really like. There was a bit too much comedy, maybe is what I would say, but otherwise,
sure, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
And guys who have been in the tournament the past couple of years, like the Sato, are getting better and better as wrestlers.
Yeah. No, the Saitos are just like on like another level. Yeah.
Even Cyrus been in the tournament for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
As much as I sort of ragged on him when he announced that he would be full-time in All Japan, it looks like he's dropped a few pounds and he's doing better.
Yeah, he's definitely a bit more mobile. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to go back to moonsaults, but
yeah, maybe not.
But yeah, so I think just overall, like I always tell people, even when before All Japan got really good again, I always told people that just compare, even like 2 years ago, the quality of the mid card to the quality of the mid card 5 to 6.
Yeah.
And there's been a dramatic. Think
Yes,
about how
because that
top-heavy-
promotion was hard carried by Kento before.
Think about how top heavy that company was for the first couple of years of like the Kento dominance.
Yeah. Like you had some people on the come up underneath, right? Like you had like Yuma slowly but surely developing and everything. And that was when we still had hope for Jake and all of that. But like wasn't really anything else there. Like especially the junior division. The junior division was shit in the early Kento years. It was awful. And
would you like another 20-minute Ultimo Dragon versus Yoshinobu kind of rematch?
No.
Oh, that was even earlier. That was like 2014.
Yeah, no, like the actual bottoming out was like Ultimo versus Tajiri. Like that's the worst I've ever seen out of like that was bad. That actively put me to sleep, those matches.
So yeah, I mean, well, it's funny because the real up and up started with
no, it really did. Yeah, as weird as that sounds.
For the most part, 2022 was a little but otherwise, you know. So yeah, I mean that's I think a strong tournament for All Japan. And it's funny because I feel like at this point, even despite huge size difference that the attention of the Real World Tag League has gotten compared to like the World Tag League has been pretty good for All Japan, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've been saying that for a while. Like the Real World Tag League is just leaps and bounds better than the World Tag League. Like pretty much always is.
Well, it feels like a bigger deal.
Yes, exactly. Like, because people actually care. It's not like because in New Japan, it's the tour everybody takes off. Whereas it's very much like it's an actual like prestigious thing to like win this thing in All Japan.
Yeah.
But yeah, because All Japan actually cares about its heavyweight tag teams, and New Japan doesn't.
Well, it's funny because New Japan doesn't, but All Japan gets in the trouble of being too roster thin to keep the
That's the weird part. Yeah.
And you can absolutely tell when it's a thrown together team that has no chance of.
Oh yeah, I mean we could very much notice it in this tournament.
Remember when was it Jiro and Ashino challenged earlier this year?
Yeah, that was very much like, yeah, you guys have history from like being in Wrestle 1 together, right? So we're gonna team you.
Yeah. Anyway, that is All Japan, and that is us going in New Year. I'm gonna be honest, Paul. I don't think we should come back until the New Year. Unless something earth-shattering happens.
Yeah, because in 2 weeks it's Christmas.
Yeah.
And then I don't really think there's a good opportunity for it. Yeah,
I'm also getting.
Let's see if anything big happens. Yeah.
I'm getting married on December 20th.
Oh shit! Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a very, very small wedding, but you would be surprised how much planning one wedding with just your immediate family.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, no, like okay, no. Like you focus on that one. You don't need to like do a dumb podcast. Like we can come back in the new year. That's fine.
Oh, if something crazy happens, I will come back.
Yeah. If like Big R Shimizu pops up on like Noah and like takes out Ozawa and challenges Kaito or something.
Oh, we'll have to do an emergency pod if someone leaves All Japan. Which you cannot rule out, but I don't really have. They would have probably announced by now, but you never know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think we got the Suwama thing out of the way, and he's not really leaving. So knock on wood, nothing, no one else.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Since we're not going to be back, I totally forgot. Quickly, I just feel like I want to touch base on this because we're not going to be back until it happens. But there's a couple matches announced for the 2nd and 3rd.
Oh yeah.
January 2nd, the Battle Royal, the New Year's Battle Royal.
As always.
Participating players will be announced as soon as they are decided. And then Suwama versus Taishin Nagao.
And the crowd popped for that as well.
Yes. And then
by the way, just real quick, I do think Suwama is winning, but since he's leaving, do you think there's a chance that Nagao wins?
No. In fact, I wouldn't even do that to him because it's way...
True. That's because he's also not going to be a heavyweight here because he's going to be a junior. Yeah, no, okay, yeah, that's actually fair.
You know what, though? If it was a veteran junior that was leaving, I'd do it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. If it's like, let's say Aoki didn't die and like this was him like on his way out now, then I'd absolutely put him over Aoki.
Paul, am I dreaming? Or did they, because it's not on the website and I don't see the image on their Twitter, But did they not announce Yuma Anzai versus Shotaro Ashino?
No, they did.
I
They
don't-
they build it as like Elpida versus like the All Japan Home
All
Army.
Japan Home
Yeah.
Army. It's not on the website, and I don't see the image on there.
Huh. But they did announce it. Yeah.
I'm just like, am I going? No, let's see if it's on.
No, I have absolutely seen that one. Like, not going crazy. I'm very certain that was announced.
Yep, January 3rd. Found it on the website. They didn't have it in
Okay.
or anything. Shotaro Ashino
Okay.
Yuma Anzai. So, Paul, could that be a de facto number one contenders match? That's what I wanted to say about that match.
I could definitely see that happening. So you think maybe that like Anzai when like basically both the Saitos like get beaten by Davy Boy and then Anzai
Well, we don't know if it's going to be both Saitos, but I could see Paul, is it crazy to like drag out Anzai versus Smith and have Ashino win there?
I mean, it's what they did last year or this year rather, right? Where they had Ashino as the challenger, the second half of January.
Yeah.
They just want to redo that one, but then I don't know. They haven't done anything with Ashino. Like it would be weird if all of a sudden he gets a Triple Crown match.
Yeah. Well, he beat Anzai.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we'll see about that, and we'll come back in the new year and talk about all of the results and hopefully some shocking surprises in All Japan and Noah. Thanks very much for listening this year. Have a great holiday, and we will see you in 2025. Bye.
Do you like wrestling trivia? Then check out the 5-star match game, the Pro Wrestling Quiz Show. I'm Joe Gagney, and every episode, I grill 3 contestants with 5 rounds of power-packed wrestling trivia. We have over 30 evergreen episodes in the archives covering WWE, AEW, Japan, Mexico, and much, 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 much more. Play along at home and check it out today.